Hello, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. My name is Justin Nimergood. I am your host of the Real Estate Rockstars Podcast. I am so thrilled to be here today. We have a wonderful guest who's going to just absolutely drop some knowledge on y'all today. So if you're out there, make sure you got your pen, paper, and notepad ready because it's going to be a good one. To that note, I'd like to welcome to the stage today, Mr. Brandon Barnum, and Brandon is the CEO of HOA.com, the leading referral network for home service professionals, helping homeowners connect with trusted experts in their communities. Under his leadership, HOA.com is pioneering AI-driven solutions to make HOAs run smoother, strengthen neighborhood connections, and create what he calls unity through community, as you can see from his little poster there, little sign in the background. Brandon is also the author of Raving Referrals and a recognized expert in referral marketing, having helped thousands of professionals generate more business through trust-based relationships. With decades of experience in marketing, lending, and community building, he is here today to share how relationships can be the most powerful tool for growth. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Justin, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited for this conversation. We're going to have fun.
Let's have some fun. To that note, Brandon, I know I just gave kind of a mouthful as far as who you are, but in your own words, who's Brandon Barnum for our listeners and community out there?
Well, I think most of your community is in the real estate business. And so I'll tell you, I got into the mortgage business back in 1997. And at that time, I was a single dad. I just got in custody of my son, and I was only making about $20,000 a year. And I had somebody mentor me in the art and science of what I now call raving referrals. And I was able to 10x my income from $20,000 to $200,000 a year in 18 months. And so ever since then, I've been on a mission to help as many people as possible kind of do that same thing and unlock the power of referrals. My last platform was called refer.com. We had over 5 million members, including over 250,000 real estate agents. Wow. And so that's my mission, is unity through community. I believe people are more disconnected than ever, and they want to feel connected. So real estate agents have an incredible opportunity to be that local leader, that community builder, and be that top trusted pro in their local neighborhood. And that's the mission I'm on.
Yeah, and it's a great mission at that. And especially when we talk today, about HOAs, people have mixed feelings about HOAs. We'll just get that out there, get the elephant out in the room, right? Yeah. But what I think you said, which is really poignant, is, unity through community. And unfortunately, and I see this every day, right? As a top agent in my market, I see this every day. There's certain agents that believe it's an abundant world out there and that there's more than enough leads and prospects to go around for everyone. And then there's the agents that, quite frankly, believe that, in hoarding, right? Like almost like there's not enough, there's a lack, there's not an abundance of.
That's right.
And so I love that you're touching on today something that's so important, especially in our business, which is there's more than enough to go around. This business is, enormous, right? So I would just love to hear, right? Obviously, you have a book. If you wouldn't mind, could you flash up your book?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. There you go. And it looks like a kind of a purple blue background there.
Blue and gold. Yes, sir.
Blue and gold. Is that because you're a Lakers fan? Please tell me.
No. That's just what we ended up. So this is I've got 5 books in the series altogether. Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents was number 4, and that's what we came up with as the initial design. Blue represents trust, right, in the color wheel, and obviously gold is wealth and prosperity. So that's trust equals prosperity.
There you go. Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to just dig into some of the higher level golden nuggets from the book, right? Let's not obviously share everything. I think part of it is let's get people to read the book, but sure. I would love to hear from your standpoint, what are some of your top favorite principles just when it comes to building unity through community and referral building and really leveraging your, as we call it in real estate, your sphere to build a business. I'd love to hear some of your top, one or two insights that you could share with our audience out there.
Yeah, happy to, Justin. I mean, number one, I think realtors give out a ton of referrals and they don't get many back. And it's one of the biggest frustrations for real estate agents when we ask about their referrals. They're just like, I give and I give and I give, and I don't feel like I get much back. So one of the things that we teach and to strategize on is building your trusted team. If you take a look at all of the vendors that you've been giving referrals to for years and in some cases decades, my question to you is, are they reciprocating? And if not, why not? And how do you build partnership where those people are actually cross promoting and cross referring you, where they are scouting for clients for you because they know that if they want to keep earning your business, they need to give you business. So we call it a trusted team. And part of that is creating that trusted team of professionals that you're promoting out to your clients and your community on a regular basis. And that's one of the biggest things that agents can do immediately to start driving business to themselves.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I certainly have some of those feelings at times in my own business because one of our jobs, as I say, as a realtor, is to be the quarterback for the entire deal ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So you have to know, obviously all kinds of contractors, you have to know inspectors, you have to know appraisers, you have to know all these different people because you're inevitably going to need to call on one or some of them at any given time in any given deal. And it's funny, I was in a lunch and learn last week, and one of the things the gentleman said, because he was talking about planning, and he was also talking about, he didn't mention it as 10X, but he talked about it as a growth principle, was someone that basically an agent that went to all their vendors, as you called them, right, and said, hey, how much business can I count on you for next year? Are you going to give me any business? How much business can I count on you for your next year? And while it was an uncomfortable conversation for him to have, it sounds like it was just absolutely transformative in terms of reshaping that relationship with those vendors, where the vendors don't just take. It actually is seen as a two-way street for that matter.
Yeah, and I don't think you want vendors. I think you want partners in your business. And what I teach you to do is imagine if you made a list of the top 20, 30, 50 people that you've been giving business to, and you called them up and you just said, hey, the reason I'm calling is that I realize I have a lot of clients that could use your services. So I'd like to connect with you, meet up, and strategize how we can build business. Yeah, and you'd be interested in. Now, Justin, what do you think the response to that question is going to be?
Sure. Yes, please.
Absolutely. Now, I love the question that you just mentioned, and I think that comes at the end of that meeting, right? I think you sit down with them, you talk about, hey, I'm formalizing my referral partners, and I'm only going to be doing business with those that are really committed to providing 5-star service, but also that are going to be scouting for business for me too, because I see this as a partnership. And when you have that conversation, then you can easily say, how much business can I count on you for the next year?
Yeah. Yeah. So important in a business that is hard enough to get good leads. When you get those referral leads, they're like gold, right?
Yeah.
And they convert at a much higher rate, obviously, than any cold lead out there. So
let me tell you about that. So it's fascinating because people are 400% more likely to hire you when they're referred to you. And a lot of people are, spending so much time on social media because that's what they feel like they know how to do. And I'm an advocate for social. You should be spreading your message far and wide. But the key is, how can you get other people to talk about you on social media? Right? How can you get your clients and customers and also your partners to be talking about you? So in the book, we talk about 21 co-marketing campaigns, ways that you and your partners can cross-refer, cross-promote each other. Podcast is actually one of them, right? Because if you have a podcast, why not feature your top trusted pros? Because it's great content for your community, and it also invests in that relationship.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. See, like I said, folks, if you're not out there taking feverish notes on this masterclass here by Mr. Brandon Barnum, you are missing out today. Now, let's pivot if we could. I'd love to get into more about some of the specifics of what HOA.com is doing, right?
Yeah.
Um, First of all, what gave you the idea to even start such a business for a sect of the real estate industry that candidly has such mixed feelings? Again, I'll say.
Look, I don't think there's much mixed feelings about it. People hate their HOA. I hear it all the time.
Okay, let's just say it up front.
Let's just call it what it is, man. I introduced myself as the CEO of HOA.com, and people instantly are like, oh my gosh, I hate my HOA. Usually there's three reasons, right? Normally, the reasons that we hear is people say, oh, I pay a lot of money into my HOA and I don't get much back for it, or I don't know what I get back for it. So there's a transparency issue. Number two, there's a communication issue. They feel like they don't know what's going on in their HOA because they feel like their HOA doesn't communicate very effectively. And then number three is the politics and the policing, right? There's rules for thee, but not for me. And so, those are kind of the issues. What we're doing is approaching that. Number one, we have the only certification program for real estate agents to become experts in HOAs. You can go to HOA.com/CHS, which stands for Certified HOA Specialist. We think you as a real estate agent, most agents get over half of their listings and sales in HOAs. So how do you become an expert? How do you stand out from the crowd? And our certification program, number one, teaches you what you need to know about working with HOAs and really how to serve that community most effectively. We have about 100 different community impact campaigns, right? The events that you can do as a real estate agent to partner with that HOA and to throw events within that community so that you become that top trusted agent that everyone knows, likes, and trusts. And we teach hyper local social farming, right? Farming communities on an HOA by HOA basis. And if your business is mostly in HOAs, you need to be certified and you need to be activating those HOA communities. Most people just have never thought about it before.
Wow. Wow. I'll be honest. This is an aha moment for me even, right? As you don't naturally think of that, but it makes sense. Any community that you can dig into, why not? And then you become the expert in it. And then obviously that's where relationships start to flourish, in more of a long-term basis. So.
Absolutely. And every one of us lives in an HOA or a neighborhood, right? We identify with being a member of that community. I live in a place called Finisterre, right? So that's my neighborhood. Yes, it's an HOA, and it doesn't matter if it's an HOA or a non-HOA neighborhood. We all have some area that we call home, and we identify with it. We associate with it. So if you as a real estate agent can tap in to that power of the community and create unity through community by hosting events, and the key is you have to be consistent. A lot of people try farming and they're like, oh, I did one mailer and one event and it didn't work. Well, it's a long game. But this is like the tortoise and the hare, right? If you want to know that you're going to win the game, then you've got to invest in relationships, not just money, but time and energy. And when you do, you'll get richly rewarded. We have agents that win like 25, 30% of all the listings within a community. And if you're talking a master plan community that might have hundreds or even thousands of homes, man, that can be hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in commissions.
That's again a fantastic way to think about how do you farm, right? Like this is farming 2.0, 3.0, right? It always used to be it's by neighborhood anyway. So why would you not go to the HOA? It just makes so much sense.
Well, and the beauty is, so there's two ways to do it. Number one, yes, partner with the HOA, but even if you don't, just branding yourself as that certified HOA specialist for that community, you can establish that, build trust, build that top of mind awareness that gets you hired, booked, and paid.
which is what everyone's goal is, I would say, in real estate. I mean, I would say we love our money in real estate. Let's be
Amen.
honest.
Absolutely.
Let's shift gears if we could one more time. We're going to shift gears to kind of our final segment of the show.
Cool.
And this is where we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to keep you on your toes here, Brandon. So bear with me. We got a couple questions that'll definitely keep you on your toes here. All right. So let's fast forward. Let's say it's your 85th birthday. Okay.
All right.
Your 85th birthday. Just set it up for us. Who's there? What's going on? Paint the picture for us.
Wow, 30 years from now. So number one, family, right? Family is key. I've got 3 kids, 33 down to 22. And so they would be 63 down to 52. So
Wow.
I imagine myself surrounded by not only my children, but my grandchildren at that point, maybe even my great grandchildren. And that's real wealth. Is our family, our relationships. What I love to do is create community impact. I'm a passionate promoter of being a charity champion, right? So I'm involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, a number of other different organizations. So at my 85th birthday, there would be community leaders, people whose lives I've impacted, and just really celebrating what we've created together. 30 years from now, man, the future is going to look so much different than it does between AI and robotization. And I mean, we may not be celebrating that birthday here on Earth. Who knows?
Yeah, it might be Mars. Let's see. It could be very, very different. Very, very well said, though. Yeah, family. The real wealth is in family, and it's funny because no matter who I ask that question to, it always almost comes back. At least one of their points is around family. So, very good there. All right, so the second one's a little bit more of a zinger, right? So imagine if you could, Brandon, it's your last day on Earth. All right, you can only preserve 3 items in your time capsule. What are those items and why?
Ooh,
I usually do get that response for that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I've never heard anything like that. So great question, Justin. Number one, I'm going to take my Bible and put it in there and make sure that I can pass that on for future generations, because I think our spiritual connection is just so important, and I just spend my time in praise and worship, and that's how I spend my day, is in gratitude and appreciation, and all those blessings flow from God. So I would start with the Bible. Beyond that, photos, right? I think photographs and capturing the sweet moments of our lives are so important. And the third item, wow. And so this is really to leave for future generations, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's to leave for the next generations. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
basically, how do you want your legacy to be remembered?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I've done that in books, right? What I've tried to do in my books is pass on the knowledge and wisdom that I've been given. I didn't learn this myself. I was taught it by others. My mentor is Mark Victor Hansen at Chicken Soup for the Soul. And so,
Oh yeah.
For the last 21 years, he's been mentoring me. So, I honor him in my books, tell that story. So I would have one of my books to pass on to the next generations.
There you go. There you go. Three wonderful answers, by the way. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Bible, your books, and some photographs and memories. All right. So, final question for you.
Yeah.
What is your definition of a real estate rock star?
Ooh, a real estate rock star is somebody that cares. They go above and beyond. They're so passionate about empowering their clients and really providing that 5-star service that everybody raves about, that they're known in the community for making a difference. And quite frankly, they're famous for their service and for caring. I think that's what is most important from the client's perspective. I think that's who matters most, is who your clients say that you're a real estate rock star. When they say that about you, you've won the game.
There you have it, folks. Absolute masterclass 101 and referral marketing and being a real estate rock star. Brandon, I'd love for you, if you could, just for a moment, share with our guests and listeners out there, where can they find and connect with you following this episode?
Yeah, if you go to brandonbarnum.com, you'll see a page there with lots of different options. You'll see things like a bank code quiz, which is super impactful, a referral score quiz, super helpful as well. So check out brandonbarnum.com.
BrandonBarnum.com. Mr. Brandon Barnum, the CEO of HOA.com. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you take some of the golden nuggets from our episode today. We'll be here again next week, same time, same place, same great rock stars. I'm your host, Justin Nimergood, signing off. Thanks, everyone.